How do displaced populations adapt to new immigration status? Imagine arriving in a new country with hopes for a fresh start but facing a maze of rules and uncertain futures. That's the reality for many displaced people in the United States. When they first arrive, they often have temporary statuses like asylum seeker or parole. These allow them to stay legally for a limited time but don't guarantee long-term security. About half of the people deemed inadmissible to the country get parole status, which lets them remain while their cases are processed. Others get notices to appear in immigration court, which can mean waiting years for a decision. Moving from temporary to permanent status is a key step. Many start with temporary visas like student visas or work permits. Each year, around 500,000 people adjust their status to become lawful permanent residents. In 2020, nearly 120,000 people made this change through employment-based pathways. These pathways include family sponsorship, where relatives petition for their loved ones, and employment categories for those with special skills or job offers. Refugees and asylees also have routes to stay permanently. Refugees get work permits right away and can apply for green cards after 1 year. In 2020, over 100,000 refugees arrived, showing how important this route is. But the process isn't quick. The wait for a green card can now take nearly 6 years, and for some categories, like family sponsorship for Mexican and Filipino applicants, it can stretch to 36 years or more. During this time, displaced populations need to keep working, living in stable homes, and staying connected to their communities. Employment is vital because it helps them support themselves and their families while waiting for legal status. Refugees and those with work permits can start working immediately, which helps them settle in faster. The last big step is naturalization, or becoming a U.S. citizen. After living in the country as a permanent resident for about 5 years, people can apply for citizenship. In 2020, nearly 1 million people submitted naturalization applications, and more than 800,000 were approved. The second quarter of that year saw the highest number of applications, showing many are eager to fully join the American community. Of course, there are hurdles. Costs can be high, especially for families with limited income. Language barriers and lack of information can make the application process confusing. Some displaced people might not trust government systems because of past experiences. Life changes like moving or job shifts can also cause delays. As of 2023, almost 48 million people in the United States were born outside the country. Many settle in states like Florida and Texas, where existing family or job networks are strong. These patterns show how displaced populations choose places where they can find community and opportunities. Recent policy changes have made things more complicated. In mid-2024, restrictions on asylum reduced new arrivals at the border. Later, in 2025, policies increased deportations and limited pathways to stay. These shifts create more uncertainty for displaced populations trying to adapt. Overall, adjusting to a new immigration status involves navigating legal steps, finding work, and building a life. Success depends on access to information, resources, and community support during often long and challenging periods of transition.